I believe that 2023 is the year to manifest that money, honey, and create the financial freedom that you are wanting to have in your life. So, for that reason, on today's podcast episode, we are going to be talking about how you can manifest financial freedom into your life in 2023 and the important things that you can start to incorporate into your life to make that manifestation process so much more effortless. What's up, and welcome to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show, the podcast that demystifies all of the nonsense that surrounds manifestation and gives you a realistic view of what it's like to be on a personal, professional, and spiritual growth journey. I'm your host, Kat Kozad, manifestation and money mindset expert, and I'm so happy you're here. Let's fucking do this thing. So after coaching hundreds and hundreds of women and being connected with thousands through social media, the top 3 things that I have found and I hear from the women that I work with is that they want to manifest financial freedom, time freedom, and deep internal peace/freedom. And the beautiful thing about diving into your relationship with money and working on clearing out the old belief systems, clearing trauma, clearing all of the things associated to money in your life is that it will help you in those other areas of your life. It will automatically flood into those other areas of your life and help in up-leveling every single aspect of your life, literally just by choosing to focus on the relationship with money. And there's so many reasons for this, main one being the fact that everything is connected. Everything in our life, whether we are aware of it or not, is connected to each other. You may have heard the saying, like, the way you do one thing is the way that you will do all things. And this is really due to the Universal Law of Oneness and the fact that everything is connected. So through you choosing to change your relationship with money and become the vibrational match for more money than what you are currently available for in your life right now, it will automatically up-level the other aspects of your life. So today we're going to be diving into the 5 most important components that you must address in your life and in your belief system to manifest an abundance of money into your life and create that financial freedom that you've been looking for. But before we do that, before we dive into those 5 things, I am so excited to announce that enrollment for my signature online manifestation program, the Abundant AF Babe Academy, will be opening for everybody on February 6th, 2023, which is also my 27th birthday. Whoop, whoop. And if you are on the wait list for the Abundant AF Babe Academy, enrollment for you is going to be opening a day earlier on February 5th. So the Abundant AF Babe Academy is literally everything that I have done in my life and my journey to get to where I am today, manifesting the life that I have and have now helped hundreds and hundreds of women with as well. This is literally your one-stop shop for all things manifestation and all things healing work. I have had so many women who have come to me who have said that they felt as though manifestation just couldn't work for them until they joined the academy, and now they're off manifesting their best lives. I've had people who literally know nothing about manifestation come to the academy and manifest their best lives. It is literally, like I said, your one-stop shop for you actually learning what manifestation practices are going to help you create the life of your dreams. So if you are ready to go all in on yourself and creating your best life, you are going to want to put yourself on the wait list for the Abundant AF Babe Academy that, again, is going to be opening on February 5th. But you can find the link down below in the show notes to put yourself on that wait list and get early access to enrollment because spots fill up super quickly inside of the academy. So if you're wanting to get in, definitely put yourself on the wait list. But with that being said, let's dive in to these 5 important components that you must address in order to manifest more money, more freedom, more of what you want into your life. So the first of these 5 components, and what I consider to be the most important one, is addressing and healing the relationship with yourself. So what do I mean when I say this? money manifestation, majority of the time, has absolutely nothing to do with money. And it has everything to do with your relationship to yourself. The way that you feel about yourself, the beliefs that you hold about yourself, the way that you treat yourself, the way in which you carry yourself on a day-to-day basis. And the reason for this is that there's a very distorted perception of manifestation where it's all about pointing the finger outwards at okay, I want to manifest the money and putting all of your focus into that money, when in reality, you are the center point of your manifestations. So if you are pushing the focus externally from yourself, you're really just giving your power away and you're not aware of what your current vibration is because you are focusing so much externally. And truly effortless manifestation, natural manifestation, comes from you turning that finger back around, pointing it at yourself, and looking at what is my relationship to myself right now. So for you listening, I want you to ask yourself, what is my relationship with myself like? And the more honest you can be with yourself, the better. Because if you are wanting to breeze past this part of the manifestation process, breeze past this part of looking at what could be potentially blocking you, I am telling you, this is where you are going to have the biggest holdups if you do that, but also the greatest success inside of your manifestations if you allow yourself to be super honest. So take that look at what your relationship with yourself is currently like and what your relationship with yourself has been like for your entire life. What was it like as a kid growing up? What relationship did you have to yourself then? And all the way through your childhood into adulthood to where you are now, how have you treated yourself? What beliefs do you have about yourself? How do you carry yourself on a day-to-day basis? What standards and values do you hold yourself to? And if there's anything inside of there that feels as though it's lacking, it feels as though it's not supportive, it feels as though there's a part of yourself that you're abandoning or disconnecting from, that is what you want to pay attention to, and that is what you want to work on healing, because you building that rock solid relationship with yourself where you believe you are so fucking worthy, you are so deserving, you believe so fully in yourself, you love yourself so deeply, you care for yourself so deeply in your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, your daily habits, your relationships, then that is what is going to raise your set point of attraction and put you into alignment with manifesting greater and greater amounts of money into your life. And again, this is where a lot of the time people will be like, okay, point the finger outwards. I want this much money so I can feel this way about myself. It's no, you are not trying to manifest the money in order to feel better about yourself, to feel worthy, to feel cool, to feel proud, whatever it may be. You want to feel those things about yourself before the physical manifestation of money is here, because one, that money's not going to make you feel that way regardless. If you are not cultivating those feelings inside of yourself right here and right now, the money's not going to help. The money's just going to amplify what's already on the inside. So you working on that relationship with yourself is actually so key. And the second thing is, when you cultivate those feelings here and now, before the physical manifestation of money is here, that actually allows you to become the clear channel to receive more of the money, more of the freedom, whatever it may be that you're wanting to manifest into your life. So again, first one is your relationship to yourself, really diving in, healing, working on building yourself up to see and believe that you are the most important person in your life, that you take priority seat number one, that you think you are the fucking shit, that you see yourself with eyes of such love, because that is what is going to make you magnetic to money. So, second is the obvious one, obviously, your relationship to money. So again, you sitting here listening to this, I want you to ask yourself, what is my relationship to money like? What is my relationship to money like? And if my relationship to money was a person, would that person want to be a part of my life? I know it's kind of funky and kind of cheesy to think about it in this way, but like if money was a person, would money want to spend time with you? Based off of your behaviors towards it, the way you use it, the way you talk about it, the way you feel about it, would money want to be a part of your life? Or are you constantly shit-talking it? Do you have this love-hate relationship with it? Do you feel anxious every single time you go to spend it? Do you spend time worrying about it? Do you feel as though you can never get enough of it? All of those energies, all of those actions, all of those beliefs, those impact your relationship with money. And if that money was a person, that person would probably be like, damn, this feels like a toxic relationship. This doesn't feel like something that is supportive in my life, so I'm not going to spend time around you. And if you can see it that way, if you can look at it in the way of like, okay, if money was a person and I have this really toxic relationship with money, of course it doesn't want to spend time around me, then you can understand why money is not showing up in your life, especially in the way that you want it to, especially in the way of an overflow, an abundance of money coming into your life and into your bank account. So this is one of the most major areas that you must pay attention to and sort through in order to naturally manifest more money into your life is healing that relationship with money, healing the way in which you see it, healing the way in which you spend it, clearing out your financial past, the things that you still hold on to that are bringing you guilt or shame or any sort of unsupportive emotion. Really looking at how you have interacted with money ever since you've had money so that you can start to change the way in which you are having that relationship. Because through changing that relationship with money and truly building it up for money to be your bestie, then money is going to naturally flow into your life. If you treated money the way that you treat your best friend, your number one person that you would never talk shit about, that you check in on, that you have gratitude for, that you have unconditional love for, that you show up for in an incredibly supportive way, then money will flow into your life because that energy being emitted out every single time you are spending time with money, whether that be you spending it, thinking about it, feeling about it, etc., that is an energetic exchange. And that energetic exchange is going to, by the Universal Law of Attraction, call back in like vibrational experiences for your finances. So again, I know I'm like really repeating on this one, but you healing your relationship with money is so important for you to actually manifest money in the capacity that you desire to. Which ties us into our third, which is your relationship to discomfort and judgment. So this is one of these kind of like behind the scenes manifestation blockers that a lot of people don't recognize is their block. How you feel about discomfort and how you feel about judgment. Your relationship to discomfort and your relationship to judgment. What do I mean by this? So when somebody is wanting to manifest the life of their dreams, they're wanting to manifest an abundance of money, they oftentimes are fearful of the discomfort it will take to actually create the financial freedom that they desire for themselves, whether that be going out and pursuing what they actually want to pursue or putting themselves out there and talking about money in a different way than they have before, or approaching money in a different way than they have before. Just the discomfort that comes up with the change, because change is inevitable if you want to manifest the life of your dreams and have the bank account that you desire. Because if change was not inevitable, you would already have it. If you didn't have to change anything, you would already have your manifestations. But because you do not, the reality is that you are going to have to change. And change is always uncomfortable. And I am not sugarcoating that. There's so many manifestation teachers out there and resources that essentially preach and teach that like it is not uncomfortable, that it's this big rainbow, sunshine, unicorn, happy journey. It's like, no. It is actually really fucking uncomfortable a lot of the time because you're growing, and growing sucks sometimes. It's uncomfortable, but that's okay, because if you can change your relationship to discomfort and not see it as something that is bad or wrong or something to avoid, but instead something to embrace and something to get close to and know and trust is part of the process, then you can completely shift the way in which you approach creating the life that you desire for yourself. Same with the judgment. A lot of the times people block themselves from manifesting the money that they desire or the life that they desire because they're so fearful of the judgment that they will receive from the people in their life for choosing to take a different path than they've already been on. And I can tell you, one of the most valuable pieces of advice that I received while healing my relationship with judgment was that unless somebody has the life that you desire to have, unless somebody is in the financial position that you desire to be in, unless you would be thrilled to wake up in that person's shoes tomorrow, do not take their advice. Do not take their judgment. Do not make it your story, because the truth is and the reality is everybody's going to judge you. People are going to judge you regardless. Like when people are like, oh, like I don't judge people. It's like, you're a fucking liar. Yes, you do. Whether it be conscious or subconscious, you judge people, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody judges people. It is literally a subconscious thing that we do to be able to avoid danger and to be able to find our crew, to like literally just function as a human being. Judgment, especially in the spiritual world, has received like this big bad black cloud that hangs out around it. But like judgment is necessary. So instead of judging yourself for judging people or judging people for judging people, recognize that people are always going to judge you. Like, who fucking cares? People are always going to judge you. You are always going to judge people. But this is your life, not theirs. So healing that relationship with judgment is going to be so beneficial for you so that you can stop allowing the judgments and opinions of other people to stop you and defer you from getting what you want. This has been one of the biggest things that I've had to work through in my manifestation journey, specifically with like close people in my life, like family members in my life who do not understand what I am doing. And when I initially received the judgment about it, it made me want to stop. It made me feel so fearful, so scared to continue forward because I wanted the love and the connection from those people in order to feel as though I was validated in what I was doing. But the reality is like, you are valid in what you are doing just because you want to do it. You are valid in creating the life of your dreams just because you want to create the life of your dreams. It doesn't fucking matter what your cousin thinks, what your brother thinks, what your mom thinks, what your dad thinks, what your boss thinks, what your friends think, what the people on the internet think. It matters what you think. So healing the relationship with judgment will completely help you accelerate your manifestations, because that energy being projected towards what you want shows that you are unconditionally pursuing this thing. It doesn't matter what people think. You are choosing. You are going for it. So those two things, judgment and discomfort, are a huge piece to work on and heal in order to naturally attract and manifest the money that you desire into your life. Same with number 4, your relationship to failure and fear. So in our society, we put such weight on failure. There's so much riding on what we believe we have to do in order to be successful, in order to be celebrated, in order to be seen, in order to be, again, like validated. And therefore, a lot of the times people will either stick on a path that they don't necessarily like in order to not be seen as a failure, or they won't pursue what they desire in their lives because they're so fearful of failing in the first place that it's easier for them to stay stuck and stagnant in what they don't want for themselves. And really recognizing that failure is honestly not even real, but failure is not something to fear, but instead embrace, is going to move you so much closer to your manifestations. Because, again, let's be honest, you are going to fuck up. You are going to do things that you feel as though are failures in your life. But if you can see those moments that you feel like a fuck up, and you can see those moments where things didn't go the way that you wanted them to, as feedback and as stepping stones that are actually guiding you closer to creating the life that you desire for yourself and the finances for yourself, then that is going to serve you so much better than seeing failure as something that you are not allowed to experience because of the fear of it. Which, this is why these two tie together, is that fear in our society, again, is something that we are taught to stay away from at all costs. If we fear something, that must mean it's bad. And that is not true. If we fear something, especially in the manifestation process, especially as you are working towards the life full of abundance that you desire for yourself, that's actually a really good sign. Because when you are experiencing fear, two things. One, your ego is literally exposing your limiting beliefs to you. You don't have to fight and work and do all the journal work and do all the inner work to try and find those limiting beliefs. You're literally having them brought to the surface for you, which is such a fucking blessing. So a lot of the times people see fear as something to avoid because all of this ego talk, all of these doubts, all of these stories come up and they're like, oh, fuck no, I do not want to have to experience those things. Like, how can I quiet this down? How can I push it away? But the reality is your ego is literally exposing your limiting beliefs to you. That is such a fucking blessing because then you have the awareness of what beliefs you must work through in order to rewire the structure of your subconscious mind and be capable of releasing those beliefs so that stepping into and manifesting what you want feels more natural, feels more effortless. So that is one reason that fear actually serves us. Second is the fact that fear is the ego's last line defense. So if you are experiencing fear, it's because you are literally on the cusp of an up level. You are on the cusp of an up level, and that is where you have the opportunity to go back to your old ways, your old patterns, your old conditioning, or you have the opportunity to show up as the higher, greater version of yourself who is naturally in alignment with manifesting what you want. And when you do that, that shifts your energy, that shifts your set point of attraction, and that allows you to manifest more money and more abundance into your life. So really changing that relationship with fear is going to completely accelerate your manifestations. And this is something that I feel really grateful for in my experience, is that I just love to throw myself head first into the deep end, into all of the things that I know can and will potentially bring up fear for me because of these things, because of the fact that I know that if there's stories that arise, ego talk that arises, that those are the limiting beliefs that I get to work through and clear from my energy, from my vibration, and from my belief system. And that fear that I feel in those moments is my ego's last line defense to try and keep me small. And I'm not willing to stay small because I know that this is my one and only life in this human body. And therefore, I'm going to live it to its fullest fucking capacity. So again, allow yourself to heal the relationship with failure, heal the relationship with fear, because that is going to help you accelerate your manifestations. And the last thing, the last important component, your fifth piece in this, is your relationship to faith and trust and building your intuition. So I talked quite a bit on faith and trust in the last podcast episode about letting go in the manifestation process. So you can go back and listen to that for a lot of the chat on building faith inside of yourself. But what I want you to know within the manifestation process is that majority of the time, it's not going to make logical or practical sense. Because if it made logical or practical sense, you would have already done it by now. If it was logical and practical, you would have been like, okay, that's safe, that makes sense, yes, I can take action on it. Whereas when it comes to, again, you building the life of your dreams, you creating financial freedom, and in a way that feels so fucking supportive and fulfilling to you, it's probably not going to make logical or practical sense. And that's okay. Because when it doesn't make logical or practical sense, but you still feel called, you still feel pulled towards something in your life, whether that be a career path or a business or a relationship or whatever it may be, that is your intuition trying to guide you to your manifestations. Your intuition is always trying to take you down the path of least resistance. And when you can actually give yourself permission to listen to your intuition, you will receive your manifestations in ways that you never have before. Versus when you are trying to make sense of it, when it's trying to be this logical, practical thing, it's usually not a very intuitive thing. So building that strength within your intuition, building a relationship of faith inside of yourself and faith in the universe, God, spirit, source, whatever you want to call it, is going to help you so much in not only manifesting the money that you want, but truly just creating a life full of everything that you desire. The freedom, the fulfillment, the love, the connection, the money, the impact, all of it. And that is your fifth thing. So quick recap on all of those. First one is your relationship to yourself. Second, the obvious one, is your relationship with money. Third is your relationship to discomfort and judgment. Fourth is your relationship to failure and fear. Fifth is your relationship to faith and trust and building your intuition. And one thing I want to note on with all of these, you will notice that every single one of them is your relationship to. Because again, like I said at the beginning of this podcast episode, you are the center point of your manifestations. It's not about focusing on what is external from you. It is about focusing on what is inside of you. You naturally manifest what you want into your life when you put all of your focus and all of your attention in becoming the highest, greatest, most healed version of yourself that you can possibly be. So that is what you want to do to be able to manifest the money that you desire and create this financial freedom. And like I said at the beginning of this episode, this is exactly what I teach inside of the Abundant AF Babe Academy. If you are wanting to manifest the financial freedom that you desire for yourself, you want to join the Abundant AF Babe Academy, because every single one of these components and so much more is what we dive into inside of the Academy on the mental, emotional, and energetic level to help you raise your set point of attraction and create the life and the finances that you desire for yourself. So again, you can click the link down below in the show notes to put yourself on the waitlist for the Abundant AF Babe Academy. Enrollment will be opening for the waitlist on February 5th, February 6th for everybody else. And that is all that I have for you on this podcast episode. So I'm sending you all of my love, and I will chat with you on the next one.